Hi everybody. My name is Max. You can call me Maxie. Hi. I know it's been a while since I made my last video. Um, approximately like 3 weeks ago. And yes, this video will look a bit different because I'm not on my VR headset as usual. Reason why is because my batteries died on my controllers. I have no idea how. They were much higher than that before last time I played, but I guess they drained because they were on. If anybody has a fix for that, let me know in the comments below. Um, I'm recording this approximately at 1 o'clock in the morning, around there. Um, but I hope everybody's been well since I've been gone, and shout out to everybody who's been watching the videos while I've been gone. I noticed that I gained a bunch of subscribers while I've been absent, so thank you guys for 700, I think 66 at the time of the recording. Now compared to it was like 741, I think about like 3 weeks ago, maybe lower than that. I don't quite remember, but thank you guys for watching these videos. It really does mean a lot, and I hope that I can continue to offer like an egregious amount of value in terms of what I do and my experiences. So I guess the first thing I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about is why I haven't uploaded. I just been going through a lot mentally, processing a lot of things, like processing through therapy, through different like traumas, and um, trying to alleviate the pain and navigating friendships and things like that, newfound friendships and stuff, which is very difficult. I usually don't really keep friends like that due to just how I am, unfortunately. But I guess as I always say, less people, less problems. I don't know. It's always kind of been my quota for that. But I just been processing a lot. I'm not gonna lie. And yes, the title of the video might be a bit interesting. The reason why I would like to talk about the title of the video today is because it's something that I've experienced for years. As somebody who struggles with BPD, if you guys don't know, BPD is borderline personality disorder. Um, it's like one day you're completely fine, the next day you just want to jump off a bridge, literally. And it sucks. I wouldn't even wish this on my worst enemy. Not even on anybody, you know. I don't seek vengeance anymore. It's just it's not my cup of tea. I poured that tea out a long time ago, and something better, organic apple juice. um, but yeah, hope you guys like the gameplay in the background. But yeah, it's something that I suffered with for a really long time. I still do to this day, actually, now, where I feel like I need to just die, you know. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. This is just a very brutally honest video, and to say that it's really difficult not to do it. I'm not going to lie. Every day that I wake up, it's very difficult to not think about, well, if I do it now, is anybody really going to find out? You know, is anybody really going to take a look back and think like, this person was cared for, loved for, you know? The world keeps spinning as I keep dying, I guess, rotting. But I realize it's not worth it. Suicide is not worth it, not at all. Killing yourself is not worth it. I gotta say for both phrases, it's simply not worth it, and I'm gonna tell you why it's not worth it. As somebody who's dealt with suicide ideation or planning suicide, or even almost committed suicide several times, I've had a couple of attempts. It is it's almost like a funny game, you know. And the reason why I say it's like a funny game to me about suicide is simply because you realize that after so many attempts, you just stop trying. You know, you stop trying to commit, and at this point, it's like God is the only way you are still alive. You know, I've had so many instances where I should have died, but yet God was just like, nah, it's just not your time yet. Am I very thankful for it? Of course I am, because I get to make these videos and talk about it. And if I wasn't here, then who's gonna be as unique as me to make these kind of videos, you know? or even just to speak out against these different things, you know, or for, either or. But as I sit here tonight, alone, and kind of in my own mind, where everything is quiet, everybody's asleep, and it's just me awake because you know I work overnight. Um, it's a very touchy subject because everybody is dealing with something, but nobody expresses it. Mental health is a really silent killer. Um, Mental health is one of those things where if you don't speak about it, it'll kill you. Literally, not physically, literally. And people talk about like that leads to this, that leads to that, but why are we so focused on the outer exchanges and not what's inner? You know, everybody has their own world to live, whether you want to live outside of that world or live in reality or live in fantasy. And sure, a lot of people could say like being a furry and stuff is fantasy, but I find it to be reality because it's the most comforting. And it's the same thing with suicide. I find the idea of it very comforting. At the same time, I don't. That is what is like every day for me, you know. Um, and I guess for a deeper part of it, trauma has its toll as well for things that I've seen or done or you know experienced. It's hard. It's hard not to pull the trigger. You know, it's hard to not think that you know people are not gonna find out or not gonna come find you. You know. Um, but here's the thing though about suicide. It's selfish. And that's gonna be a very controversial take for a lot of people to even hear that word. But I want you to hear me out when I say it's selfish. You gave up on yourself, essentially. When you die and the day after your brains are blown out or your body shuts down or you're just lifeless on the floor and on your bed or wherever you kill yourself at, you don't realize the butterfly effect that has on other people. It traumatizes other people. It disincludes other people. And if you really care about other people, you wouldn't do it. This is the reason why part of the reason why I'm actually still here is because I realized the butterfly effect that I can have on other people. Despite of what my mind is thinking that they don't care. Obviously, logically they do. It's just might not be physically sometimes or emotionally. I can feel it, you know. Um, the day after your suicide, you're not gonna think anymore. Sure, you might escape to the pain, but one of the biggest phrases that I heard growing up on TikTok and stuff. Yes, I'm saying growing up on TikTok because that's how I got a lot of my, I guess, interesting reels and things like that from 2020 COVID. Was um, don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. It's all temporary. That's the biggest lesson that I've learned about not killing myself is the fact that um, it's just simply the fact that it's a temporary issue. You might think that it's not. You might think that it's not going to change. But this is what the devil wants. He wants people to die to realize that there's no hope. But in reality, there really is. You can change your circumstances, your situation. And in my case, I trust in God for all of that stuff, you know. It wasn't until I got tested in my faith by God and, you know, tested through the different motions and being chronically online and things like that. That's when things really changed for me. That's when things started looking up for me. That's when I realized, like, it's all a bunch of BS. Your mind is lying to you. Your flesh is lying to you. It's not real. The emotions are real, but the circumstances where you think that it's not going to change, that's unreal. It might take months, it might take days, it might take weeks, it might take minutes, it might take years. You never know. But if you keep staying alive, if you keep waking up, you're already winning. You have to wake up and realize that this whole life is temporary. You only get one chance to live this life and that's it. It's not like the biblical days where people was living to 600, 700 years old. We now live in an era where everything is fast food, everything is junk, everything is dopamine, everything is clerically inaudible, everything is so much noise, you know. And I'm a victim of that. I must admit, I am a victim of that, of all the noise. And it's almost regulating. It's almost peaceful with all the noise. At the same time, it's not. I would like quietness in my brain. Well, like a day where my thoughts are not telling me to die every 5 seconds, or it'd be nice if I can just not feel so lonely, not feel so isolated all the time. And maybe that's part of my newfound, I guess, understanding that possibly have autism, um, possibly have autism, and a couple other things that keep me behind, um, and it honestly sucks. It really does, especially when you want to create things and be things that you never thought you could be. But the day after you die, that all goes to silence. Everything you grinded for me, 22, everything that I've grinded up to this point, I've done, that I've learned, 22 years down the trash. And if I were to die now, I'd leave so many potential things behind. Every time I record these videos, I have a Porsche 911 Hot Wheel right above my monitor. Every time I look at it, I think that was God's promise to me, that he will never leave me. Which that'll be probably a story for another time, but that's God's promise. That car is God's promise to me, that he'll never leave me. The Turbo S will always remain to be there. But here's the thing. Are you gonna be there when it all goes to shit? Excuse my language, but are you gonna be there when it all goes to hell? When everything falls apart? Are you gonna be there? Are you gonna show up for yourself every day just so that we can see what the next episode is? I see my life as a Netflix movie season, as a matter of fact, about a season. And every season is a different era. Every season is a month. February, season 12, or season 2. For me, it'd probably be like season 100 something, if 300 something by now, because I'm old as frick now. Getting on status. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. I'm just starting. I'm just getting started. I'll be 23 this year, and that says a lot. I spent the past 3, 4, 5 years traumatized, and it's really unfortunate. But now I'm learning to undo those things and heal now. Because if I don't heal now, what is my life going to be in the next couple of years? You might not think that you're making progress because you're seeing everybody online make this quote-unquote progress, but in reality, they're suffering just as much as you are. They're just trying to persuade you that they're not suffering. Everybody suffers. But it's how the suffering is dealt that'll really change your life. So you need to wake up. Truly wake up. And when I mean by wake up, I mean I need you to realize that suicide is not worth it, bro. Killing yourself is not worth it. I'm making this video at 1 o'clock in the morning because I want to speak about this, because this is something that I've struggled with for a very long time. I still do now. But just remember that it's simply not worth it. It's not. If you do it now, could you imagine the potential that you could have missed out on? The people you missed out on, the wife, the boyfriend you missed out on, whoever watches my videos, what you can miss out from what God really wants to do with you. And that's one of the biggest things that really keeps me alive, is that understanding what is my potential and what God can really do to change my situation. Am I changing your situation? That's taking it 1 day, 1 hour, 1 minute, 1 second, 1 blink at a time, and realizing that you're meant for much more than just flesh and bones. You're worth more than that. Traumatized or not traumatized, you're worth more than that. So do what you need to do to get up. Do what you need to do to live. Do what you need to do to survive in this accursed world. And the world's not always bad. It's always 50-50. When it comes to problems, it's the same exact thing. It's all 50-50. Your problems, your actions, it's all 50-50. They all could have bad consequences and good consequences. And suicide is one of those options where if you take, you will never be able to come back from it. It's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And I want you to understand this, whoever's listening throughout this entire video, that it is a temporary problem, and you're wanting to make a permanent solution to that temporary problem. What does the word temporary mean? Temporary means it is not forever. I know for a fact someday I will actually be much happier. I know for a fact that God is still carrying me and He's still healing me, and it's hard. It's a lot of effing work, okay? It's a lot of work to be in therapy every fucking week and trying to grind and trying to heal and do a bunch of things. When you're healing, you need to take it at a time. From one alien shapeshifter to the next fox, wolf, snake, whatever you are, furry, not furry. It's that, don't waste your time on thoughts that are not going to drive you to do more, to get more, to be more. And to start creating. Start doing the very thing that God told you to do, and that's to create. He gave us the ability to create, so why don't you create something? Create something out of your misery. And I don't mean a negative way. I mean something that can uplift people, be positive, to show you what it's really like to be alive. Even the adrenaline, I love cars, I love driving fast, but the adrenaline's always going to wear off. Don't make a permanent solution to solve a temporary problem. That's all I got. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.